Now that we've finished our API, what we need to do is deploy it. So again, let's go ahead and do that. So in here, I'm just going to create a repository name, and this is going to be feature flag API. So this is basically our backend. Let's make it public, create the repository, and essentially we want to add this remote in here. So let's go in our code. Let's clear everything out. So paste this in, git remote add origin and so on. And then essentially what we need to do actually is initialize the repository. So let me just do git init, and then we have everything set. So git init, then we set the remote in here, and then we can commit our changes. So what we can do is git commit -am, so add everything, and then in here we want to say completed feature flag API like this, and then save that and press enter. And let's just actually do git add because that command didn't work. So git commit -am, and then our command, and then we just need to do git push, and then it'll tell you what you need to run. So you just copy this, paste this in, and press enter. So now that's pushed all our changes to our repository that we've created. So let me just refresh the page. Now you can see everything is all set in here, and again we have everything all up to date. So Firebase.js uses basically the service account key.json and these credentials, but we need these credentials when we deploy. So what I actually am going to do is I'm just going to actually delete this one, and I'm going to add this to our file structure because we do need this. So actually what I'm going to do instead is add the variables in the env file. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's quickly just add them in. So let me just go into my code, and we just need the project ID, the private key, and also we don't need the key ID, so I can delete that one, private key, and the client email. So let me just double check. Yeah, so then that's fine. Then we can basically copy this, put it in the env file. So command X, this is our private key. So it's process.env.private underscore key, like so. Then we have essentially the client email. So let me just quickly do private key, which is our private key. So I'll paste that in. Then we need the email, I think. So let me just double check, which is actually the project ID. So this is going to be command X and process.env.project ID. So let's add that into the env. So project, paste that in. And then the final one is the client email. So again, we'll paste that in as well. So client email equal, and paste that. So they saved in the env file. Now all we need to do is copy these. We can delete this now, like so. And then in Firebase.js, we don't need the service account anymore. And we can just basically paste in the object in here, like so. And now we have our variable set. So that's all good. So now what I want to do is deploy the code. So let me just quickly do git add in our code, git add, and then git commit, like so, and then git push. And so I just need to quickly go into this URL and then fix it. GitHub prompts me to basically select a command, so allow me to expose it. So now I can basically do git push. So now that works, and that is all complete. So now we have our feature flag code, and if you go in config in Firebase.js, we now have our envs set over here. So now we go into something called render.com, which is basically where we deploy. And if you haven't got an account, you just go into here, you log in through your GitHub, and then that connects all your GitHub repositories to this over here. So now what I want to do is go into dashboard, and essentially if we go on new over here, and then what we want to do is create a web service. And you can see here I've already deployed one, but let's go ahead and create a web service. And this is basically what we've created, which is the feature flag API. So let's select that and connect. So now that's everything pretty much already set for us. We want to select the free tier for now, and we want to add our environment variable. So what we can do is set it from the env. So let me just quickly go into our env in our local code and copy everything, and then we can basically paste it in over here like that, add variables. So we have our env variables now over here. Everything else is fine. So we have Node.js. This is the service that is the free tier service. So this is the region we have it in. So if you want to use another one, then you can do, but I'm going to use a free one. And then all we need to do now is deploy the web service, and then this will basically build everything for us and then upload everything to online and give us a URL that we can consume. Right, so now you can see here we've deployed everything and our service is now live. To get the URL, we can see here let's just copy this one, and then essentially we want to paste it in. So now you can see it's saying cannot get slash, but that's fine. What we want to do is do /API/recipes, because that's our route that we defined in our Node.js application. And now you can see here, it says error. You can see error fetching recipes. Let me just try feature flag, feature dash flag. And let me just double check what we named the feature flag first of all. So if we go into index and it's feature flags with an S, so let's just add the S on, and this is not going to work. So the reason it's not worked is because when we interact with this URL, we essentially want to pass in a token through the headers as well to say that actually they are authenticated with our Firebase account, and then we can show them the data. So essentially, let's just do API/recipes one more time. And it says here error fetching recipes. It's not showing us the error, so we can debug that later on. So now that is how you deploy your API onto the web. What we want to do next, and in the next video, we will be building our admin dashboard, which is basically this dashboard over here that we can do many CRUD methods. So we can add more recipes in here, we can update, delete, and also view the recipes. So this is what we will be building, and it's the same again for our feature flags, and we will be doing that next.